Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So welcome to flight attendant training part 1. I am so excited guys to finally give you guys all the information. So yes, this is part 1 of flight attendant training. As you can see, my airline is hiring, and also I found out from the grapevine that there are 2 more other airlines that are hiring. So you have Allegiant, Frontier, and Spirit Airlines. Those are the 3 airlines that are at this moment are hiring this morning for flight attendants and pilots, and also other office duty work also they are in for. So definitely check them out before it's too late. Now in this video, we're going to talk about the waiting process. So you fill out the application, you're just waiting for the airlines to send you an email stating you are going for your interview or you're not going for the interview. So in the waiting process, I recommend, this is my thing, my experience, I recommend in the waiting process, you sit down. If you're with, if you guys are a couple, if you are a family couple with children, I advise that you sit down with your husband or wife or a significant other and your kids and to have a conversation. Let them know, yes, as a flight attendant, you're going to be away sometimes for a couple of days. Sometimes it's 4 days, sometimes it's 5 days, all depends. Every schedule is different. So you're going to have to sit down and talk to them and let them know you're going to be away, and make them see that this is something that they can deal with when you're gone, you know, especially when it comes to husband. A lot of times, you know, husbands, they can't manage on their own without the wife. I know the struggle is real, but this is something that you guys have to really sit down and talk about and make sure everyone is on the same page, because you don't want to become a flight attendant and then you realize your marriage or your relationship fall apart, which it does happen in the flight attendant industry. But distance, make sure you guys can do without this. Make sure you guys can do with distance, especially also since if you're gonna base in another state, you have to commute. Talk to the children also. Make sure you have someone responsible staying with the kids if you're not a couple, or if your husband or your wife work at night or whatever the situation is. Make sure you have someone that's responsible to be staying with the kids. So all these things you're gonna have to plan out, you know, before you actually go on your interview, because you don't want to go on an interview and get the job and then you realize like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So this is the time to figure these stuff out. Now let's talk about the ones that are single. Now, if you are a homebody person and you'll need to be around your family at all times, you can't stay away from your family, I would definitely suggest that you really think about it really hard, because as a flight attendant, you're going to be away for a couple days, and sometimes you can get homesick. A lot of flight attendants get homesick. So definitely something you need to think about. Also, people with health issues. When it comes to health issues, make sure that your health won't be affected when you're flying, because flying is a whole different ball game when you're flying, because your whole body get affected when you're flying. If you have chronic asthma, you probably don't want to be flying with a chronic asthma, because the breathing is going to be very difficult for you in the air. So stuff like that. There's a time for those of you that love to make plans. All right, in the flight attendant industry world, is sometimes you're gonna make a plan. Like example, Friday you're gonna go on date night, blah blah blah, you and your significant other, your friends or whatever, and sometimes things gonna happen that you won't be able to follow through with your plans. Okay, sometimes it's gonna be either you're gonna be at a state that they're having a snowstorm and the flights are canceled, you can't be on until the next 2 days. So your plans not always gonna come true, because there are times that for me, I may plan with my husband and my flights end up getting canceled or get rerouted somewhere else. So yes, not every time your plan's gonna fall through. So you have to be able to be like, okay, you know, pick up the pieces after that. Be on training for like a month. Every airlines have their different time frame of training, and make sure that you have enough money saved up, so when you're on your training, you can still provide for yourself or pay the bills or all that kind of stuff. So you got to think about stuff like that, because being in training for a month, some airlines do not pay you right away when you're in training. They pay you after training, and that's if you pass the training. If you don't pass the training, you do not get paid for some airlines. Some airlines, you do not get paid if you don't pass the training. But if you pass the training, then they pay you. So you get your pay basically a month later. So make sure you have enough money saved up when you're on training. Sometimes they may not hire for one particular base, but probably 2 or 3 bases. So you have to also think about the bases that they hire for and which one will best fit for you, because you have to look at the distance where you're going to be commuting from to your home, because sometimes it may not work out if you go further from where you live. Like me, when I first started, I was living in Miami and I was Vegas based. I could be Chicago based. They were hiring for Chicago based and Vegas, but I didn't choose Chicago because for me, my weather in the wintertime is not good for me at all. So I didn't choose Chicago because of that. But Chicago was closer than Las Vegas. But I chose Las Vegas because it's not as cold as Chicago. And it worked out fine for me, even though I have to commute 5 hours every time I'm going home. So those are some of the things that you do have to really think about before going further into the flight attendant process. That's also things that I have learned and also hear about other flight attendants mentioned to me about. And also, to be honest with you guys, for people who are couples, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, whatever the situation is, a lot of times that they come into the airline industry, because the airline industry is a totally different ballgame. It's like a world to itself. It's like, you know, you watch those movies and you have Earth and you have space and people live in space and people live in Earth. Flight attendant industry is like the same way. It's a totally different ballgame. So you may come into the flight attendant industry as a couple, you have your husband, you have your wife, blah blah blah, and you've been in the flight industry because it's a totally different ball game. It also mess up your relationship, because I have flight attendants who tell me, man, I was married before I became a flight attendant. When I became a flight attendant, I ended up getting a divorce because I was a flight attendant, because the person could not handle the flight attendant industry world and how the world is. So you have to also need to look at stuff like that. We do get jet lag a lot. Like, I've been in the financial world for 5 years and I do get jet lag all the time. So you're going to be sleeping very often. Like, the bedroom is going to be your best friend, because the mattress, honey, is going to be your best friend. I'm telling you, you're going to be so exhausted, especially if you're going to be commuting, because commuting is full-time job. From one state to your home is a full-time job. So you're going to be very, very, very tired. First, at least probably the 6 months in. After 6 months, you're still gonna be tired, but not as bad of how you started. So definitely keep those in mind while you're waiting for the response from the airline. I'll also do another video of when you get the response, things that you need to do and stuff like that. So yes, this is flight attendant training. I'm giving you guys the information, and I have to be real with you guys. Like, I literally have to be real. I don't want you guys to come in the industry and be like, oh my gosh, I wish somebody had told me this, I wish somebody had told me that, I wish I had learned this, I wish I had learned that. And this is a channel for you guys to learn all these things, and I have to be real with you guys, and that's what I'm going to be doing. Be real with y'all. But for those of you that did submit an application, oh my gosh, again, you're in a waiting process, waiting for the airlines. Just talk to your family, let them know what's gonna happen, what can happen, and this is a journey you're gonna be on. And make sure your family is supportive, because they need that support. I'm telling you, guys need that support, especially if you're a husband and wife, or you're single with kids or whatever. You're gonna need some sort of support, because sometimes you're gonna come home, you're gonna be exhausted, and the kid's gonna be like, oh, mommy, you're gonna be like, I am so tired. Make sure you have a good support system, guys, before you come into the flight attendant industry. So that's all for today. I will definitely do a lot more videos for you guys. Again, the next video is gonna be when you guys receive the email saying you guys are going for the interview. So we're gonna go over that part in another video. But thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely click the notification button, guys, because I'm gonna give you guys tips and tricks and just be real with y'all, and share it with your friends and family who is thinking about wanting to become a flight attendant, time to go and apply, or think about stuff like this before they apply. If this is a journey you really want to be on, not just the glitz and the glamour, but also the things that comes with it too. And but thank you guys so much for watching, and I see you guys next time. Bye.